Today we celebrate the feast of Saint Ignatius of Loyola. He was born in 1491 and died in 1556. He lived 64 years. He was born in Spain. And we know he was an army man, soldier. And there was a turning point in him when he was sick, lying sick on his bed. He read the life of Christ. After reading that book, the life of Christ, he completely changed his life. And he experienced Jesus became the center of his life. Then he left everything. He laid down his military garments in front of the Black Madonna at Santa Maria, and he gave his other clothes to the poor. So he sold everything. He emptied himself. Then he followed Jesus. And he became a priest. And he founded the religious congregation called the Society of Jesus, or in short form, it is called Jesuits. So he founded the Society of Jesus congregation in order to love Jesus, serve Jesus in a better way, and to serve in the church, to serve the people. And he was very good at his intellectual capacities. And he developed such a spirituality, he wrote so many spiritual exercises. And that is known as, sometimes we go for the retreat. Let us go for the Ignatian retreat. Before our final commitment, we were sent to have the Ignatian retreat for a month. So, how to possess Jesus in our life. And Jesus is the center of our life. So, in today's gospel, we find Jesus himself is telling about, unless you give up your parents, brothers, sisters, relations, everything, you cannot be my disciples. Unless you take up your cross, you cannot be my disciple. Unless you plan out properly in your life, you cannot finish the building. So this is what Jesus is demanding from us. As Saint Ignatius of Loyola, he changed his life reading the life of Christ. He took Jesus as his center of his life. Today, we, the followers of Jesus, the believers of Christ, let us possess Jesus in our life. Let Jesus become the center of our life. And let the church become the center of our life. So, to find Jesus today, we need to find Jesus in the church. We cannot separate the Christ or Jesus and the church today. So the church and the Christ, they go hand in hand. It is like we cannot drive a train without two separated tracks. Although they are separated, but they go hand in hand. With one track, we cannot drive a train. In the same way, when we are in the church, we cannot worship Christ without the church. We cannot stay in the church without Christ. It must go hand in hand or together. Today, let us pray very specially in this Mass, as Saint Ignatius experienced Jesus is the center of life, church is the center of his life, and where he can serve better, in the same way we can also experience Jesus and the church in our life as the center. And let us not be ashamed of following Jesus in the times of suffering, persecutions, sicknesses, or insults, hardship. And let us possess Christ, selling everything, as we can hear or read in other place, in order to get the pearl, in order to get the treasure. They are selling everything. So today we have to sell everything in order to get that treasure, or in order to get the pearl in our life. And who is the treasure or pearl in our life today? The pearl or treasure is Jesus Christ. May the good Lord bless us all and bless all the Jesuits. And let us pray in this Mass for more vocations in the church and vocations in the Jesuit congregation, that they may continue to serve Christ, save the church, the people of God.